Here's the complete narration script, 884 words, built around Turtle Mountain in Alberta, the real 1903 Frank slide site that's still monitored 24/7 because it never stopped sinking. Your bones are hollowing you out right now and you cannot feel it happen. The same silent collapse is happening inside a mountain in Alberta, Canada, and in 1903 in the town of Frank that hidden weakness buried 90 people alive in 90 seconds while they slept. The mountain looked solid from the outside. It never was. Geologists say it is still failing today, the exact same way, and no one on Earth can make it stop. Turtle Mountain doesn't look dangerous. It looks like every other peak along the Canadian Rockies, gray limestone, jagged ridgeline silent. But limestone is deceptive. It's the same mineral, calcium carbonate, that builds the structure of your own skeleton, strong under pressure, brittle when something eats away underneath it. Beneath Turtle Mountain's hard limestone cap sits a soft layer of shale and coal, slowly crushed, slowly dissolving, slowly giving way. Miners had been tunneling straight through that soft layer for years, pulling out the very material holding the limestone roof in place, never realizing they were carving away the mountain's spine from the inside. The mountain has been standing on a weakening foundation for over 10,000 years. You are standing on your own version of that right now, and most people never check until it's too late. At 4:10 a.m. on April 29, 1903, 30 million cubic meters of limestone tore off the eastern face of Turtle Mountain. That's 90 million tons of rock, moving at over 100 kilometers an hour in under 100 seconds. It buried part of the town of Frank under rubble 60 feet deep. 90 people died in their beds. Survivors said the ground didn't shake first. It just went silent, then the mountain arrived. Investigators later found the warning signs had existed for years. Miners had heard the mountain groaning underground, cracking, shifting weight months before the collapse. Nobody outside the mine took it seriously. The mountain gave notice. Nobody was listening. Here's the part that should unsettle you. Turtle Mountain never stopped. After the 1903 slide, engineers assumed the danger had released itself, that the unstable section had already fallen and the rest was solid. They were wrong. Surveys in the 1930s found new cracks. Surveys in the 1980s found the summit had shifted again. Today, the University of Alberta runs a full-time monitoring station bolted directly onto the mountain, sensors, GPS stations, seismographs, feeding data 24 hours a day into a lab that never closes. The mountain is still moving, not dramatically, not all at once. Millimeters a year in places and centimeters a year in the worst cracks. It is sinking into itself, the same slow hollowing that took a century to reveal the first time. The deep reveal is this. Turtle Mountain isn't an isolated freak of geology. It's a preview. Mountains built on soft interior layers exist across the world. The Alps, the Andes, parts of the Rockies stretching through Montana and British Columbia, all resting on the same kind of hidden weakness, all slowly losing structural integrity in ways invisible from a hiking trail. Scientists call this phenomenon toppling failure, where a rock mass doesn't erode from the outside, it fails from within. The internal skeleton giving out while the surface holds its shape for years, sometimes decades, after the danger is already locked in. That's the same mechanism as osteoporosis in a human body, bone density silently dropping while the outer shape looks unchanged, until one fall, one impact, breaks what should have held. Doctors call osteoporosis the silent disease for exactly that reason. You don't feel the hollowing until the fracture happens. Turtle Mountain is the silent disease of the Earth itself, playing out over centuries instead of decades, and it is still active, still logged, still crawling toward failure in front of instruments built specifically to watch it happen in real time and still unable to stop it. Canadian officials haven't evacuated the area, and they don't plan to, not yet. A small community still lives at the base of the mountain, in the shadow of the exact rock face that failed in 1903, because the models say the risk is manageable, monitored, contained. The current models suggest the next major failure could be smaller, more localized, or it could rival 1903. The honest answer scientists give when pressed is that they don't know which crack lets go first, or when. What they do know is that the same forces working under Turtle Mountain are working under mountains people build homes beneath, resorts beneath, roads beneath, all over the world, largely unmonitored, because a full sensor network costs more than most governments are willing to spend on a mountain that looks fine. Turtle Mountain only gets watched because it already killed people once. Most mountains don't get that warning shot. So the mountain keeps sinking, millimeter by millimeter, logged by sensors that record the failure without being able to prevent it. And somewhere else on this planet right now, Another mountain is doing the exact same thing with nobody watching at all. If the ground beneath a monitored mountain in Canada still can't be stopped after over a century of warning, what's happening right now under the mountain nobody bothered to wire with sensors?